Okay, so we're here to talk about the anthology horror HorrorScopes Volume 2, Chinese Zodiac. Did I get that right?
Or Chinese Zodiac HorrorScopes Volume 2.
Or that.
Or HorrorScopes. HS2 is what we call it.
Yeah, HS2 is good.
It's the only successful HS2 that this country will ever see. We're getting political already. It's a rowdy Saturday night.
Right, do us a favour. Introduce yourselves and where you come from. You're wrong in which?
My name's MJ Dixon. I come from hell. And I directed the Tiger short and the Pig short.
I'm Davin Jeaves. I directed the Rat short, the first one.
I'm Alex Churchyard. I come from Southend in Essex, and I directed the colourful one, the Snake.
I'm Andre Harrison. I came from CR22, and I directed Rooster.
And I'm Martin W. Payne. I directed Horse and appeared in Pig.
Okay, so this is a tricky first question, but I'm going to put you on the spot. Can you name the other directors who are not here from the other segments?
I fucking hope I can. So Danny Thompson.
Tony Marden.
Tony Marden, thank you. Anna Dixon and Eve Oliver. Can you imagine if I forgot my wife? Like, fucking hell. The Grime Horror guys, Richard Elson and John Foxon.
Maria Metheringham.
I'm missing Maria Lee Metheringham.
Tony Sands as well.
And Tony Sands. God damn it, I thought I had them. James Newton. Sorry, James and Tony did co-direct Rabbit. So
beautiful. Well done.
Thank you, Andy.
So what is it about anthologies? Obviously, it's the second part, or the second one that you've done. What is it about that you enjoy? The collaborative part, is it?
It's much less work for me to do. No, I think because we did one last year. It's been like a few years in the making, really. I think like 2016, me and Davin were in a pub. We used to my wife used to help run Film Network in Milton Keynes, and we were sat in the pub doing a meeting for that one night, and I just kind of said, I've got like an idea for like an anthology film where like you give like a bunch of filmmakers like a sign of the Zodiac, and you'd call it HorrorScopes, and I was like, I can't believe that doesn't exist already, but it didn't. So I said it'd be really good, and Davin said, well, if you ever do that, please let me know. I'd love to do something for it. And so like I got a little book and I wrote Davin's name down in it, and then over the years just like I'd talk to other people and they'd go, I'd love to do something together, and I'd say, I've got a thing, if you'd be interested. Yeah. So write your name, and then I think in like 2020 we just done Pandemonium, and Alex came up to me and said, it'd be really good to do something together, and so like I went home and wrote his name on this little list, and that was like the 12th person, and like and then so we did that because we were struggling to get a lot of stuff off the ground during the pandemic. So the thinking was, we can probably manage a 5-minute short, and then if everyone else can manage that, we've kind of got a film. We did like a thing called The Pickening, which we do like kind of live every year, and pick the names out the hat and the signs and stuff randomly.
So it's random, okay.
Yeah. So we have no, which is the toughest part, is that we have like no say over the order of the films, which can be a real nightmare, because you have no real choice at where it starts, at what comes first, what comes last.
So the order's random as well as
no, the order is the order of the Zodiac as is tradition. That's kind of how we did it. And then that went really, really well. Too smoothly, if anything. So I said, do you guys want to do a second one? I've kind of got an idea for it, and obviously the idea was to do the Chinese Zodiac next. I was a big fan of Jackie Chan Adventures in the 90s, the early 2000s, and they had talismans based on the Chinese Zodiac, so I knew them all off by heart. And I thought it'd be a really cool thing to do. So most people agreed to come back. Andre is a new director this time round. He was in. You produced Annie Knox's segment in the first
Aquarius,
one. But there was a lot of his voice in there. So when Annie said she couldn't do it, he was like the first person I went to because I loved what they did last time with the Aquarius one. So
Oh, thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. So it went really. The first time went really swimmingly, so I thought the second time would be just as easy, and little did I know.
I've got a question. Was there ever like a Reservoir Dogs situation where someone went, I don't want that name, or I don't want that one. I want a different symbol.
No. I mean, apart from Martin kicking off all the time, going, stop giving me horse things.
You're still giving me horses. At least I haven't got
Are you
horse.
getting typecast?
I haven't got horse in the third one, thankfully. No, I think there was certainly. I remember on the picketing, certainly the second one. I think we all had ideas of what one we wanted,
Yeah.
and whether we got it or not, it didn't make a difference. But there was quite a few people saying on the second picketing, "Oh, I really would like." Whichever.
Everyone wanted Dragon, really,
Yeah.
was the thing. Everyone's like, it'd be really cool to get Dragon. I think that's the one that sounds the coolest.
Yeah. So starting with Martin, how did you go about, getting, you had your symbol, how did you go about personifying that within your film?
So I got Year of the Horse, and my first script was basically about a possessed rocking horse.
Okay.
And then I had a bit of difficulty with actors' availability, trying to get that sorted out. Trying to find a possessed rocking horse is difficult, but MJ says he has one, so
I do
that's
have
fine.
one. It's not officially possessed, but we
In film terms, it
the
is.
jury's still out.
So I changed the script entirely to roughly what you saw tonight, except then I had originally that was 3 actors on screen. Then one dropped out, so I changed it to, well, I can do this with 2. I can do this with 2. It's doable with 2. And then last minute, one of the others dropped out. And so it's quick rewrite an hour before we started shooting to make it one person basically on screen. Joe Simpson-Bushell did an excellent job. And he sent me a message earlier today to say he is available for other similar parts should anyone require anyone to syringe their dong. And it was just a case of going, that second idea, Year of the Horse, what do I associate with horse? Well, it had to be that. So I was filming it and then sent it through to Mike, and he said, yeah, I've got to pixelate it. I think I'm not sure it needs pixelating, but I think the reaction is better than it is.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we'll never find out because every time I send it uncensored somewhere, they go, "Could you please censor that, please?" So,
How about yourself?
So we came a bit later on to the process with Rooster, and I just finished a feature film, a horror film, and I was a bit burnt out, but I really liked MJ. So when he messaged me and he said, the concept, and I don't think at the time you told me what it was, but I remember I was like, okay, cool. So it's a short film for HorrorScopes, and obviously we did HorrorScopes 1. I kind of knew roughly what it was, and I called Mia, who plays Red or Blue, no Red, and she said yes, she's up for it. And I called Catherine, but Catherine said yes, excuse me. And when those two said, let's work on something, I was like, cool, let's do it. And then when he told me it was Rooster, I was like, what the fuck are we gonna do with like a fucking bird? But after a week, it was. I think I was watching I was watching Pulp Fiction or something like this, and there's something about his dialogue that really stuck with me, and I kind of wanted to build around his dialogue and work something weird and funny kind of around that.
Alex?
Hi. Originally, I came up. I was going to do something based on the legend of the White Snake, and it was going to be really serious and moody, and then genuinely, and then I'm sure someone has come up with it. Thought of I was trying to think of snake puns and sort of thought of the. Python and an eating contest, Stand By Me. And I said to my wife about it, and she was like, oh, that's much more, because I wrote the whole thing. I wrote this serious thing, cast it with a good actress. Aviana Snow was going to be in it, and was going to do this serious thing, and got like a serious cinematographer. And then, you know, I came up with this idea. And my wife was just like, "Oh, that's much more you. Just do the stupid thing." And so I was like, I said to
stupid DOP.
yeah, well, I said to Kamal, I was like, "I'm sorry, but we're now going to do this thing that's." My influences are Zap and other children's TV shows.
I forgot all about Zap.
Yeah, well, that was my main influence, and I thought, well, let's just do this, and it would be really funny. And life's really depressing, and I just thought, let's just do some silly shit. I really love silly shit, and I thought, you know, and I thought it might stick out like a sore thumb, and I'm sorry if it does. But you know, that was my that's why my inspiration. I'm sorry.
It's good. It's the best
Well,
way.
I like it.
How about yourself, then?
Well, Rat, yeah, I mean, I did the first one in volume 1. Cancer was more of a kind of psychological horror thing with two people talking a lot, so I kind of want to do something that was more moody, less dialogue, and kind of more atmospheric. So I didn't know what the fuck that would be, but you know, I thought about it and basically just sort of played on the idea of a love rat, and you know, kind of a woman who suspected her partner was doing the dirty on her and having an affair, and then kind of, you know, pushed it a bit further so that, you know, it was really her paranoia that kind of went over the top, and so really, you know, it started from there really, and most of the film is really, you know, just in her head. It's a nightmare, and spills over into reality really. Yeah, so I wanted to do, you know, something with less words and more colours and performance. So yeah.
Well, I mean, if anyone saw the first one, or if you didn't, I'll tell you all about it. So the first one, I ended up getting the last segment last time, which was Pisces. So like, I wrote this stupid comedy about a guy whose wife started like having sex with some fish, and it went down really, really, really well. Everyone thought it was very funny, and funnier than I expected it to land, you know. And so I was like, oh well, I don't want to be like a one-trick horse. So then I was like, oh well, I have to do something completely different this time. So I ended up with Tiger. And I was like third, so I thought, well, I don't have the pressure of being at the end, so I don't have to do anything funny, because we'd kind of realised that the best way to kind of go out once we did the first one was to kind of go out on something, you know, like with a bit of humour to it, like to go out on a light note. And so, yeah, I thought, right, well, I'll do something about like the, you know, gangsters trafficking women and kind of like sexually assaulting them and abusing them. You know, this, like, I wanted to do something that was kind of like a bit like a spit on your grave. Like, I guess the idea was kind of like, you know, the tiger stripes coming from this kind of guy who abuses women with a belt kind of thing. And so that was the image I started with, and I just started kind of building around that. I genuinely didn't know, or still don't know, if it works, but and I really like the idea. And Eliza Leonard, who played Tora, who's the main character's name, she kind of came on board as I was developing it, and she really liked it. And so and then once we got Mark Sears as like the Vince the Prince, I call him, as ironic name obviously. Once we got him, like Mark's, you know, he works in like a lot of kind of higher budget stuff, but once he kind of agreed to do it, that really cemented like a lot of the film together, with having those two kind of strong leads. Well, like, yeah, you know, I wanted to do something a little bit more serious, and so that's kind of where I thought I'd leave off with the film. And then November came, and that was like our final handing date, and then one of the films just never showed up. And so initially the film ended with basically like some dog woman going to eat a baby. And I was like, well, that's a fucking bleak way to end this.
Keep it light.
But we handed that's a version we handed in, on like the 10th of December, we handed that over. We started handing that over to festivals as the finished version. And then, like all through Christmas, so like lying awake at night going, no, No, there has to be a 12th film. There can't be only 11 films. And so like on the 10th of January, in 24 hours, me, Martin, and a local actor we know called Michael Hutchinson, and my wife who played Maggie from Accountant or whatever, got together and basically I wrote this script the night before. I sent it to Martin and Anna and said, just be honest, is this worth making, or should we just hand in the 11 films? And they said, no, it's worth trying. So against all odds, we had me and Murray as crew, Martin tied to a chair, and we gave Michael about 12 hours to learn 6 pages of dialogue. And we just went for it, and then I got it back and just cut the whole thing together as quickly as I could, put it into the film, and I think it ends the film on a much lighter note than we would have, dog lady eating baby kind of thing. So, in the end, I think it was worth doing, but then obviously I ended up with the last film again. Yeah. So it was a lot of work.
You need to rig the...
Yeah, I haven't though, have I?
No, you haven't.
All the questions on you next time though, I think.
Right, final question, one each.
Am I? I don't know. No idea, actually.
Final question, one each. Let's start with Martin. I don't know how anyone tells what your name is, by the way.
No, neither do I. No.
What's your next project? And if it's part of the volume 3, I know there is a volume 3. If you are involved in that, mention that. But if not, just talk about your next project, each one of you. Martin first.
Briefly, I think my next project, if you were here this morning, you would have seen Life After, which is a short film. There are another 3 short films in my head, partially written, that I need to do, which is all part of the same series. That will all add up into one feature eventually. Plus, on top of that, I have got to do a segment for a small film you may not have heard of called Video Shop 3. And also, HorrorScopes 3, where I've got whichever dark Zodiac sign it is, but I can't remember the actual word. I just
abyss,
remember
I think.
the deep.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
It's the deep. So that's not horse related and will not have any penises in it.
Can that be guaranteed? Because
Can I get that in writing?
everyone here knows what you're like.
I'm not saying what it does involve.
Oh,
There are
God
no
damn it.
penises.
How about yourself?
So last year we done a film called Midnight Perturbation, which was released during the summertime this year. And then, we'll be doing the sequel to that in December, which I'm really excited for, so that should be fun. And then, we got HorrorScopes Part 3, which we'll start filming, our segment starts filming in May.
That's all
And
we asked.
that's it, I think, at the moment,
Alex, what are you working on now?
Tomorrow there's Mosaic showing, which is a film I made, and that's showing here. Hey. No HorrorScope tour for me because we got Video Shop 2 that I need to finish, and it has to be finished this year. So there's Video Shop 2, there's Video Shop 3. I'm making a documentary called Shoestring, which is about DIY filmmaking within horror, so very specific to this, and whatever else about those are the ones.
Cool. A few bits.
Yes.
I think I'm making one of the volume 3.
Yeah, I can't remember what sign you got now.
Warrior, I think. So
there we
that
go.
sounds like pacifist film.
It's got to be funny because it's the last one, I think. So
Is it the last one?
Gotta make it funny.
It'll be as funny as fuck. So I haven't written that one yet, but it's got to be funny. So
May not be
come back next
ladies
year.
eating babies, don't
I'm working on a few other projects as well, other scripts, trying to put a feature together, and come along to this amazing festival. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. MJ?
We've just finished Slash House 3, so that's kind of doing its thing at the minute. We started pre-production last week on Wrath of Thorn, which is the third and final, hopefully, Thorn movie. And then we're doing a film called Bannister Doll Heist, which is kind of Reservoir Dogs meets Child's Play later in the year. So I've got quite a busy schedule, and then we've got HorrorScopes 3 as well, which I can't remember what time we got now. God damn it! Why can't I remember what time I got?
Don't ask me.
I'll think. It'll come back to me in a minute when I start talking about someone else. So yeah, and then I think we're doing a follow-up trailer to our last short we did for Video Shop Tales of Terror. We're kind of doing like a follow-up trailer to go into that. Yeah, and just loads of crap, really. You know, just loads of low-budget crap.
Lots of number 3, yeah. Nice. The pattern. There's definitely a pattern. I look forward to number 4, whether you can get past this 3 that keeps happening. Yeah. Thank you very much for bringing your film to the festival and for being here, representing it. Can we have a round of applause, please, for all the filmmakers behind HorrorScopes?